to the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see.
All right, everybody, good afternoon and welcome to a nooner here at All Around Town Radio. We're live from the studios in beautiful downtown Springboro, Ohio. I want to welcome you all out today. We're going to get right to it. It's Wednesday with the band, and with me today are the fellas from ATP. That's After the Party. How you doing, Josh and Clark?
Pretty good. Great. How are you?
Good to have you with us. We're getting a little ring back from somebody there. Just I can figure it out here in just a minute. Let's see. Josh, it's you. I just muted your mic, so it's you a little bit. So maybe you can turn down a little bit of what you got going there.
Always a singer's fault.
All right. Yeah, it's live, people. Just understand that. It's always live. We've always got some technical issues that go on. And let's talk about ATP or After the Party. And let's chat about how this band and such came to be, guys. Who wants to take it?
Well, I'll take it. Since I'm the original member. Back in 2019, I wanted to start like a party-esque band. Mainly when we first started it, it was going to be like something of like 90s covers only up to 2000. And then when we seen the feedback we were getting from people, it was like, oh man, we could take this a little bit further. So we kept expanding from 90s now to like classic rock, dance music. And then we had a couple members switch out due to differences of other stuff. But then we finally got Justin and Clark in this lineup, and learning a song, it takes one practice now, whereas before it would take, with the old members, it would take like months. So we found out how good we all meshed, how good of a brotherhood we were in this lineup, and we just took it off running, and we've been doing great ever since.
So again, how long has this been going on? How long did this idea come up?
Well, I've been singing since I was 15, so I've been bands and everything, but this is one of those things, like I got to a certain age and I was like, okay, well, I want to do this, not so much original. I want to do more like fun stuff that people are going to pay to see. So.
And what I've seen of you guys do a stripped down version as well. I've seen that. But ATP is the full band, is a 4-piece band?
A
5-piece. All right. So Let's name the members of the band here if we can. Give them a shout out, Josh, if you will.
You got Justin on lead guitar, Justin McNally. You got Mike Philpott on the bass, and you got Hooter Johnson on rhythm guitar, and then me and Clark.
And Clark, you've been with the band how long?
I've been with the band a little over 3 years now.
And what do you play?
I play the drums.
You're the drummer.
Yes.
All right. The backbone of the band, as they like to say back there.
I like to say it.
Josh alluded to the fact that you guys hit it off, and I've interviewed so many bands, and that seems to be the common denominator. Once you find a mix of folks that come together and mesh, practices become easier, everything becomes easier, gigs become easier, and there's not a whole lot of band drama and all that once you guys find that groove. So he mentioned like you take a new song and it takes a practice to learn it. Who decides on the material? I'm gonna let Clark field this one. Who decides on what you guys are gonna play?
It's kind of everybody technically, I guess, in this band has their place, and everybody does their job, which is what makes everything easier in the first place. But typically, what will happen is there'll be song ideas floated around, and we'll maybe not necessarily vote on it, but if there's a negative, it's more like what floats to the surface. If we name like 10 songs and 2 nobody has anything really negative to say about, we'll learn those 2. If somebody has a real issue with the other 2, we'll just put those on the back burner for maybe revisit those in the future. It's realistically, Josh is the one that has to sing them. So we don't want him to hurt himself in any way, shape, nor form, and we want to be able to perform, multiple shows. So pretty much he kind of takes the lead on the final choice, if he can sing it or not. Not if he can sing it, but comfortably sing it over and over again. And that's how we kind of start figuring out if this song is right for us, and if we have the instrumentation. I mean, we play a couple songs that have a lot of keyboard parts in it, but we emulate those on guitar as well. And that's kind of what, in a way, I think sets us apart. We do have 5 members, so we do have that ability to do songs like that some bands would shy away from, keyboard parts per se. But, if it's something we can pull off believably, and we'll pull it off and, go from there.
Perfect. Well, if you're out there watching today, guys, we know our live viewership at noon sometimes not the biggest, so we want to make sure that if you're watching after we're live, and you can on any of our programming, find it on our page, please leave a comment for the band or a question you might have, and these guys will share it to their page. They'll be able to see those comments pop up, and they'll be able to answer your questions and so on. So, Josh, inspiration here. You mentioned 90s music and that kind of stuff. What inspires you to sing all these songs? Because I've seen you sing a variety of stuff. I mean, it's not just pigeonholed into one little genre spectrum. I mean, you're everywhere. What inspires you, Josh, to do that?
It basically goes back to when I was a kid. I didn't have the greatest childhood growing up, and I needed that outlet, basically. And instead of choosing drugs, I chose music. And I stuck with it, and literally I bleed music. Like everything, I research bands, I listen to different kinds of music, get a lot of inspiration from different artists, old and new. And then it was just the one thing. I actually started singing by accident. Back in middle school, I was in middle school choir, and my choir teacher said, "You should front a band." And my exact words were, "I'll never do that." And I've been doing it since I was 15. So
famous last words, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and obviously music, as you say, kind of heals the soul, and music is one of those things that can take you away from a bad situation any day. I mean, whether you're having a bad day or you're really in a bad personal situation or whatever, I think music takes us there. And I notice, Josh, you're really soulful when you sing. You bring it from the deep, man. Is there some are there some demons in there that come out occasionally when you sing those songs?
I don't know if it's demons. It's just the feel of the song. I mean, if I'm really feeling it, and I really want to project what I'm doing, I give it all I got. So,
well, you definitely do. And let's talk about. Let's back up a minute. We said we introduced the band as ATP. You guys are known as out there, but After the Party. And where'd you get the name After the Party?
Well, it's funny.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Well, before, you may have remembered our old name, Age to Perfection, when we did the Battle of the Bands at JD Legends a while back.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, and then when we changed drummers, well, when the first original drummer left, he actually came up with Age to Perfection. And he had a little bit of qualm about us using the name, but everybody already knew us by ATP. So I was telling my wife, literally right after the phone with him, of him saying that, I told my wife, I said, "ATP, what are we going to do?" She literally looked at me without a hesitation and said, "After the Party." And I was like, I like it. So,
all the pizza was already taken, so we couldn't use that.
All the pieces.
I like it, and I like that she came up with it like that. I mean, those are the best ideas sometimes that just pop into your head, and you're like, let's run with that and see how it works. And it's obviously working. And you guys play a variety of locations around the area. Mention some of the venues that you typically are circling through.
We got Hollywood Casino, Club Trio.
Froggies in Monroe.
Yep.
Anybody that have us, pretty much.
Well, I know our friends, the old owners of Froggies in Monroe, man, they raved about you guys all the time. Stacy and Rich were like, "You got to come down and see this band, man. Yeah. You got to," they were great about that. And they kind of put you on the map there, I think, in Monroe. And it is good to surround yourself with good people like that and be, circled in with the right folks. So you mentioned earlier, we were talking about deciding a set list and or what we put in the set list, new songs we add and all that. Do you ever have spirited debate between the band members? Is there ever any, I don't even want to call it conflict. Is there ever a time where you're just like, Josh, maybe you put your foot down and say, I can't sing that.
Actually, it's happened more than once. I try to there was a song, I can't remember exactly which one it was, but I really wanted to do it. And I think everybody had almost learned it. And I tried singing it on my own. I tried the karaoke version. I tried everything, and I just couldn't do it. And I said, guys, I want to do this song, but I honestly have to throw in the towel. And so,
to be honest, I really didn't learn it because I knew how hard it was going to be.
the truth comes out.
I think we've got your biggest fan on here, Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah Baker has joined the party. Thank you for being with us today.
Hey, Sarah.
Glad to
She's
have
the one
you
that came
here.
up with the name.
Good job, Sarah. That was a quick one to come up with that, and I love that you morphed the old ATP into that. I mean, and still kept a little bit of a brand there, and that's cool stuff. And wonderful. I want to talk about musicians that you guys admire. Anybody, if it's local, if it's national, past musicians, all that. Let us know a little bit about your background into who inspires you to play.
I'm going to jump on this right quick, Josh, just for a second. The one that caused me to play drums was Tommy Aldridge. My cousin had actually loaned me a video cassette, yes, that long ago, of Tommy Aldridge playing with Ozzy after Randy Rhoads died and Brad Gillis was playing guitar. And I saw him play his drum solo and with his hands, and I'm like, I want to emulate that guy. And then, ever since then, though, my style has gotten a little different since we play a lot of varied stuff these days. My current favorite drummer out there that's still working and touring is Johnny Rabb from Collective Soul. He just seems like a super great guy. He has fun on stage, and I try to emulate that as much as possible.
So would you call your band a band that enjoys being on stage and fun on stage?
Oh, for sure. 100%. We playing live is what is our favorite thing. I mean, I would say we all have an equal loathing of practice because it's just not, I mean, it's fun being together and hanging out, but there's work to be done there. And, you get to see the fruits of your labor once you're on stage and people react.
Clark, that's perfect because I agree, Hunter. I love going to see bands that you look at and you can already tell before they even hit the first note, they're having a good time together.
Right.
And, and so many bands get wrapped up eventually into the motion of just, it's another gig and I walk up on stage, I plug into my amp and I do my thing, and you can tell that it's just it's lackluster sometimes. And I love seeing those bands that enjoy it and you guys are having fun and you laugh at each other. If somebody makes a wrong note, it's not stop the world and throw something and break your guitar, and you're like, okay, we just screwed that one up and nobody really knew in the audience, right?
Right. I
mean, that's the good stuff. Josh, how about you on the inspirational singers maybe or musicians?
Everybody always asks me, like, if you could be like somebody, or if you could say that somebody really got you to do this. I always say I've got my top three, and the 3 and 4 is kind of tied, but my top three, number one is Ronnie Van Zant from the original Lynyrd Skynyrd. It was just something about, he was so simple but so powerful with his lyrics and his stage presentation. He didn't do much, but man, he could take a room with his vocals and his lyrics and just captivate him. My number two is Scott Stapp from Creed. Amazing guy, amazing lyricist, really feels emotion too. And my 3 and 4 that are tied is Brent Smith from Shinedown and Jeff Tate from Queensryche. Because I admire all those guys and I hate to put numbers on them, but all these guys have really influenced me and helped me. Basically, I would listen to their songs and just match note for note, or at least try on some songs. And and it felt comfortable, and I could feel where they were coming from, and I kind of project that when I sing. So
awesome. I'm gonna give a little shameless plug here. I don't know if you've watched it, but if you get a chance, go back onto the YouTube or the Book of Face and check out my interview with Jeff Tate. That we did. And man, he was great to talk to. And I've seen Jeff now touring around and saw him at the Blue Note not too long ago and things like that. He's just phenomenal still. wonderful voice. And yeah, and it, you know, you listen to all that old Queensryche stuff, like how did he pull those vocals off, man? It's insane. By the way, Clark, did you see your love from Hooter Johnson there?
I saw Hooter say so. I can't read it. It's too small on my phone. I can't see exactly what his comment was.
You're into Milli Vanilli and you have their poster. So there it is. All
He
right.
said you would never tell that.
Don't tell the bad stories. Hi, Chantel. Thank you for being here. Good to have you with us today. Guys, if you're out there, make a comment. Let us know who you are, where you're from. And if you have a question for the band, we'll throw it in there. We're talking to ATP today, After the Party. Thank you, Sarah, again, for that great name. And we're going to roll on into some more here. And do you guys write any of your own music yet? Are you doing any of that? Or are you just playing covers right now?
It's funny that you ask. Probably about a month ago, I started working with a tool online to, because I have all these ideas for original stuff, and our lead guitar player, Justin, is just a genius when it comes to just writing stuff and coming up with things. And I started messing with this tool, and I said, I have these ideas, but I don't know how to play guitar that well. So I want to know. And so I started playing with these ideas on this app, and I was coming up with what I thought was some great ideas, and I'm sending them to Justin, and Justin's just like literally taking that idea and going with it. So we had mentioned that maybe doing an alter ego of our band and doing some original stuff, whether we play it out or whatever, we don't know yet, but we played around with the idea definitely. So
is that like the Chris Gaines, Garth Brooks thing or whatever, alter ego?
Yes,
or what,
exactly.
what
We're all going to have black hair and black makeup.
Sasha Fierce.
That was probably one of the most bizarre things I think I ever saw in my life, but
Crazy.
Who knows? But you know, when you get that kind of money, you can do anything you want, I guess. So Ashley's saying you have an amazing voice, Josh. Thank you, Ashley, for that. Hi, Carla. Thanks for checking in. Rick Hansen checking in from the Hall Pass Rock Band. No relation, but fun guys. Thank you. Thank you for being on with us today. So do you guys have any, basically when you rehearse and you want to add songs, do you have any particular rituals or routines that make sure you get through it and it doesn't get derailed by just cutting up and, you know, being together and having fun?
Well, after we sacrifice the lamb,
Right.
put the ropes up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, we just we get down and when we get down that we actually practice at Clark's house. When we get down there, we probably have maybe a shot each and then kind of loosen up a little bit, and then we go right to work. It's about how it goes.
So
typically everything's rehearsed on Fireball. So
yeah,
the liquid courage always comes into play there, doesn't it? For real.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to change gears for a minute. Let's go about the songs that you pick. Let's talk about those to the audience who may not have heard you play today. Let's mention some of the covers you do that might be familiar to the folks that might want to come see you.
Before I start with this, on our website, I didn't know if you knew this, we actually went to the studio and we record like 6 or 7 songs that we do. And they finally got mastered and put up on our website. So there's a variety of ones we do. We do In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. But the reason why we recorded that one is because we kind of take it and make it our own a little bit. We keep the original structure, the original idea, but we take it, and some of our closest followers call it our version of a Freebird, because it starts off slow and ends up in your face. So we take pride in that song. And then we do Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue.
A couple of Creed tunes because
yeah, we got some Creed stuff. Go ahead, Clark. You can figure out some more.
Yeah, Clark, jump in there, buddy.
I mean, we do some of the standards that you see a lot of other bands do as well. Like You're Hard to Handle. Josh Still Holds a Gun to My Head and makes me sing Sweet Child of Mine in our sets now. Let's see, what else we got? We do a couple of country tunes, like She's Country and Beer Never Broke My Heart. We try to mix it up and keep it a variety for the audience. And that's the comment. That's the type of comment I usually receive is, no band can be everything to everybody, but you're going to, in our set, if there's something that you don't hear that you love, then you don't like music, because we play a wide variety, anything from classic rock to a little bit heavier to country stuff. And we even do a kind of our own version of a Backstreet Boys song. So that's
Okay, I gotta hear that. All right, I've gotta hear that. Boy bands of the 90s. There you go. All right. So you have a lot of followers. There are a lot of people that talk about you and buzz about your band and that kind of thing. What are your thoughts on interacting with your followers and building the connections with your audience? How do you maintain a good connection with those people? Like you said, you have people that come all the time and follow you. So how do you do that?
You know, we always try to make time, you know, during breaks or before a show, if they get there before the show, you know, kind of just chat with them, see how they're doing. I try to do as much as I can, but you know, a singer with ADHD puts you everywhere but where you need to be. But we always try to not only engage with the followers that do come to the shows and stuff, but we also like to do things during the show. We usually give out free bracelets that have the band's name on it and our website. We just kind of like to hand those out. Every once in a blue moon, we'll do a merch throw where I just throw a shirt out or whatever. And we do have a full merch lineup that my wife also makes. So, but we try to.
She's like the sixth member of the band.
Yeah, and that's the joke. She's the silent sixth member.
she is Pete Best.
Absolutely.
But you know, we just you know, when somebody compliments us on Facebook, I because I'm usually the one that has the most time, so I usually go in there, you know, and thank them so much for it. And I mean, we try to engage. I've been trying to do like live promotions of shows lately, to go on live or posting a video, just, you know, kind of shouting out the show and seeing how that goes. But
thanks for all the comments, Carla. I appreciate those. She says, rehearse on Fireball. She's laughing at that one.
Works every time.
Yes, absolutely. What do you got to say, Chantel? She says, great entertainers, and I love your version of songs that make them your own. Thank you, Chantel,
Thank you
for that. Quentin Fife in the house from Ladder. That's Latter. Thanks for being with us.
I want to check them guys out so bad.
Oh, they're so good. You got to go check those guys out. They're so much fun too, and they're great guys. You guys will just be like pals from there on out. I guarantee it. Rick saying no band can be everything to everybody. That's true. The truth. Yes, very true. And yeah, you've got to have an audience who's there to see what you guys put out on the table. I mean, you know, and it's not for everyone. Like we said, some people may come in and say, it's just not my style of music, you know, or whatever. But I dig more the stage presence and the band's interaction and the way you guys deliver your product more than I do the song choices sometimes. Yeah. You know, that's just me. And I may be one of those weirdos that does that when I go to a venue, but it to me seems like you guys just have it together and you're on stage for a purpose of not only entertaining the audience and making the venue money, but because it's fun for you. Right. And that, I think that makes a huge difference in everything you do. And let me see a couple more comments here if I can, and we'll get to another question. Sarah, I love that. She is the shit show supervisor. There we go.
Pretty much.
Sarah, I can understand 100%. Yes, you probably have to rein the cats in and herd them together to get them on stage sometimes and all that. And yeah, Carla, thank you again. Tracy Collins, what do you got to say? Sounds like stuff we would like. We need to come check them out. You sure do, Tracy.
Yeah, absolutely. Check us out.
Check them out. And speaking of that, let's talk real quick about upcoming gigs if we can that you guys have coming up. I know you're playing Get a Fest in Cincinnati on Saturday, right?
Yeah. From noon to 3:15, we'll be there, and it'll be the stage under the tent.
On the saloon stage.
Yeah, the saloon stage.
Well, good. So even if it sprinkles, it'll be fine, folks.
Yep.
So get in there and check that out.
And we have
what else you got?
We got Quaker State Bike Night on Wednesday in Milford.
That's always a good one if it's a nice weather night.
Yep.
All right.
There's so much. I can't even. I don't even. There's so much. I just put it in GPS and go. I don't even know where we're playing.
And where can they find all your gigs, guys? Do you have a listing of your upcoming shows and events?
We have them on Facebook, and I believe our website is up to date. I have to check with our shit show supervisor on that one.
I'll have to check that too.
Say that 3 times fast, right?
Yeah.
So you can follow After the Party or at After the Party ATP on Facebook or afterthepartyband.com on the web if you want to do that, guys. And please go give them a follow. If you're watching the show today, we encourage that every time anybody's on here, please support these bands. That way you'll know when it pops up and they have an event on their page or whatever. At least you'll get a notification and know that they're playing somewhere for real. So let's talk memorable performances this band's had. Have you had any that just really stick out to you guys that are like, man, that was the show of our lifetime? Or have you not gotten there yet? What do we want to talk about with that?
One that sticks out for me, and I can't wait till we're back, is and I'm not trying to toot Karis's horn, but it was the Belle and the Bear.
Oh gosh, don't pump her tires any more than people do. All right.
I was just being honest. We got there and we were so nervous because we know some of the top-notch acts that play there, and we were like, okay, guys, we got a lot to prove, and we got in there, and it wasn't second or third song. I was having the time of my life. Those people are so welcoming. They were amazing. The staff was amazing, and which speaks volumes for an entertainer. I mean, when they're having a good time and wanting more, I mean, it just keeps like an adrenaline rush constantly. And it got so good that like at the end of the show, I'm like, I wanted to keep going. Like I was like, this is awesome. But yeah, for me, it's definitely Belle and the Bear.
You nailed it with the Belle and the Bear, and I'll tell you, I may be a little biased too. It's one of my favorite places, and Karis runs a wonderful business. But besides the fact that she does, the patrons that come in there, and they are true music lovers, and like you said, the most welcoming, friendly, family-friendly house in the world. I mean, you go in there and you feel like if your first time is like you've been there forever. Yep. And that's important to a band too, that they get embraced by the audience, because there's a whole lot of this that goes on as people watch bands nowadays. They're all judgy and they want to get online and type in their keyboard warrior things about the bands, and I didn't like the way they did this song, or the singer's voice wasn't on, and we're out there to have fun. It's a good time, and nothing's perfect.
Right.
Every band has its, some songs that are better than others. I'm sure, Josh, you have songs that you just slay, and other songs you're like, I do it because I have to throw it in there sometimes. Yeah. And, it's an amazing thing, the mindset of bands and followers. And I love that you said that. Clark, do you have any memorable moment that stands out to you?
Well, I have one specific in this band. Of course, the Belle and the Bear was spectacular. I mean, I actually love all of our shows, especially when there's an interactive crowd. However, I'll always go back to last year when we played Get a Fest. I thought we were having a great show. Then this Rogue Wind came up, and they were on the big stage outside, and they had this kind of backdrop thing that's supposed to let wind through, but it blocks sun. And this thing's like 60 by 30 feet, and this Rogue Wind broke loose the backdrop from the bottom, and it whipped up, and I tried to prevent it. I mean, it was quite heavy. And it actually threw me and my floor tom off of the drum riser onto the stage. And I mean, it was a melee. And I woke up with this big backdrop laying on my head the whole time. And I'm like feeling around. Am I broken somewhere? So
I like that you weren't hurt. But
I wasn't hurt. It was funny, and I'd have loved if somebody got that on video, because I would post that myself. Because I
was just going to ask that. Our friend Scotty Bratcher took a fall on the stage at the Sorg Theater not too long ago that was captured on video, and he said, "I can post my best songs, my deepest feelings, and let me fall on stage, and it goes viral."
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how that works. I'd like to have seen that too, but yeah, that's those outdoor stages in the weather we've been having lately, they can be a little dicey. You got to really tie stuff down and be careful. I know our friends from Billy Rock had a little issue the other night, and the one speaker stand fell and hit Billy, and that can be dangerous and all that. Now, those are memorable moments, I guess. And I'm supposed to ask you something, Josh. I'm supposed to ask you about the Snake in Loveland. When you were playing acoustic.
Oh my God. Really?
Chantel's throwing you under the bus, Josh.
So we were playing at the Wicked Pickle acoustically, and me and Justin do not like snakes. I don't like snakes. They're the nope rope. I don't like them. And I don't care if it's poisonous or not. I don't do snakes. Well, we were playing and Kevin walked around and he said, "There's a snake over there." And I thought he was just messing with me. I'm like, whatever. So then I'm sitting there, and after a song, I looked down, and sure enough, there was a snake. I jumped up and ran off the stage. Well, Kevin went and got the snake and took it to another area. Well, then it somehow made its way back, and me and Justin are both freaking out, and he gets it and takes it away again. Well, we had a break, and then we came back for another set. And while I'm sitting there singing, Kevin goes behind me with a stick, and he touches my leg with it. And I about jumped out of my skin because I thought that snake was back for the third time. And now he teases me about it all the time. So, yeah, that's the snake story.
Kevin Tolles was a snake wrangler. How about that?
Yep.
How about that, people? That's awesome. And these are great stories, guys. And you know, I want to get one more thing in before we have to go today. Well, actually a couple more things. But we talked about interacting with your fans, but what do you guys both feel like are your biggest accomplishments in music?
Wow, never been asked that.
I know it's a tough question.
I think for me, it's going to be longevity. I've been playing since I was 14 or 15, and I'm not even going to divulge my age now, but that was at least 4 decades ago. So. But another thing I'm proud of, and this is a shameless plug, is that I'm endorsed by Collision Drumsticks. That's not necessarily difficult to do, but that they do promote on their own website and stuff like that. So, I'm proud of that accomplishment, and that's on my social media as well. But it's just being able to be a part of a team and feel valued, I guess. I mean, it's like any other business. You don't want to feel, like anybody's less important or more important than anybody else. And I think we all get along, and that would be, my greatest accomplishment is being, a strong band member and as well as a friend. So, and that's, I'll put that on my epitaph if I have to. So
there you go. How about you, Josh?
Well, I think my greatest accomplishment, I think, as a singer is finally getting with a group of guys that it's like a brotherhood. I've been in bands for many years, and some of them seem like they were good, and then they end up bad, or some of them just didn't work out, or other things. But with these guys, it's like I said, we're a brotherhood. I mean, it goes beyond band members. I mean, if one of us is down on our luck, we have 4 other guys that are willing to pick us up. And, there's been times where some of us have maybe had an issue going on outside the band, and when we all stand in and try to help and talk about it and keep their spirits up. And many times, numerous times, a couple of us have been like, after a show, we'll be like, man, I feel so much better because I'm with you guys doing what I love. And I think
so cool.
It's like just being in a band where I can showcase talent. Well, everybody, for that most part, can showcase their talent and have fun doing it. And, and also the big thing is no egos, because egos are the killer. And none of us have egos at all. So, because that was one of the things that we made a rule that if you got an ego, you go. So,
I've thought of putting that on a T-shirt. Egos are the killer of local music.
Absolutely.
And bands that have egos don't last long. They really don't. Or that guy doesn't last long in the band, I should say, sometimes or whatever. All right. 2 more questions. Number 1 here. How do you guys maintain a healthy work-life balance with the band? Playing out, doing your practicing and then maintaining your day jobs or your, life at home and all that. How's that work?
It's tough sometimes with we just played, 8 or 9 shows in July, got done with that. So that makes it really tough balance, especially with, full-time job and home life and family stuff. I think we're all supported on the other side. I mean, I know, even the people at my work support what I do. So, I don't take advantage of it, but sorry about that. I don't, it's good to know that you have that support behind you, and that makes, it does get strenuous after a while, but then, you get a night off and then you're like, well, I need to be back on stage somewhere. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's in your blood, and you can't get. That's just the way it is. So you deal with any little injury you have, and you push forward, and because that's what you love to do. That's like I always tell people, my dad loved to fish all the time, and I could never get into that. I was always into music. So that some guys fish or hunt, I play music. So that's my, I guess, hobby per se.
Gotcha. Josh, how about you?
Well, it's been easier now than it has in the past. For the most part, my wife, like I said, she's my number one big fan. She's the Silent Six member. She's always making sure we're acting like gentlemen and not kids, even though that sometimes don't work. But having a significant other as your biggest fan is probably the biggest helper. And then, all my kids are pretty much grown now. And then also I'm bus driver for Butler Tech. So I have the summers off. So it makes summers really easy for me, but,
I hate you.
Yeah.
And,
we all vote on that?
yeah, but I mean, there's days where we'll have weeks that we'll have 5 shows in a week, and that can run you to the ground, especially in the heat. But for the most part, I mean, it's the whole thing of loving what I do. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. So, and that's the way we all feel. I think we've had many discussions where we've not even practiced songs, where we've kind of just like sat down and expressed feelings on like how shows are going, all that stuff, just like an informational meeting. So we're all on the same page, and across the board, everybody's like, we're doing what we love. So
perfect. Well, fellas, let's recap here real quick, and then I've got one last question I always ask everybody I interview, but I want to make sure that we talk about you guys one more time. You're playing Get a Fest on Saturday, the main stage under the tent, correct? Or the
yeah, on the saloon stage. Yep.
Okay, and that's from noon to 3?
Noon to 3:15. Yep.
Perfect. All right, and then you've got another couple gigs coming up as well, and they can find that out on your page if they want to go to Facebook or whatever.
Yes.
And that's after the party ATP on Facebook.
On Facebook, yes.
Perfect. And then you can follow them on, obviously, After the Party Band on the web, on their website as well. It's been a great pleasure having you on today, guys. I can't wait to get out and see a full band show. I'd love to do that. I've seen Josh play a little solo stuff or a little duo combo thing, and it was very good. And we'd enjoy it. And you're getting a lot of positive comments today. Sean Trail's obviously a big fan, and I heard you played a pool party as well. I heard about that.
Yes, we did.
Chantel, I missed the invite to that. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna say that.
Now, I do want to say that we are at the Bell and the Bear August 29th. And it's also, we're celebrating my wife and Hooter, the rhythm guitar player's birthday that night. So it'd be a big celebration. So
perfect. And I'll get a shameless plug in about the Bell and the Bear too. Thursday night jam this week is my birthday party at the Bell and the Bear.
Right. Happy birthday.
So, my birthday is not till Saturday. We're throwing it a little early, but we're doing it on the jam night. It'll be a lot of fun, and I'd love to see y'all come in and check that out and have some fun with me here. So let's see what's going on here about you two guys. And this is the last question I always ask, whether I'm interviewing Jeff Tate or I'm interviewing Josh here. Not to put that into any perspectives, but you know what I'm saying.
Way better than me.
So I'm going to start with Josh, and Clark, you'll have a little time to think about this one. But if you could take the stage with any artist, past or present, who would it be?
Share the stage with?
Yes. Past or present. They can be live or not with us anymore. But
well, to sing with would definitely be Ronnie Van Zant. That was a no-brainer for me. Guitar player that I would love to have jammed with, probably Randy Rhoads. I think that would have been fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those are good choices. 100%. I would have loved to have been on stage with the old Skinner guys. I think that would have been a hell of a party. By
hell of a party.
How about you, Clark? You've had a minute to think.
Well, we're both going to be on the Ronnie train, but I'm going to go with one of my first musical loves was Ronnie James Dio. Was always one of my favorites. I always, loved his music, especially the first 2 or 3 albums, and that was near and dear to my heart, and always on my cassette player in my Chevelle back in the day. So,
boy, you are showing your age, man.
I know, right?
You want to
Gotta
throw
cut
an
me in half and
8-track
cut
in
my
there
rings.
too while we're at it? Let's pop an 8-track in while we're going. All right.
I had that too.
I did too. I was listening to Steely Dan and people like that on 8-track. Yeah,
man.
so that goes back in time a little bit. Guys, I can't thank you enough. You've been a pleasure to talk to today. And folks, if you're watching here, please follow After the Party. You can find them on the Book of Face at After the Party ATP, or on the web at afterthepartyband.com. So check those guys out if you will. We appreciate you being here, fellas.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. We appreciate you.
Thank
great
you, Scott,
time.
for everything you do for the local community as well. You're
Thank
amazing.
you, my friend. I appreciate you, man. And stay with me just a second, guys, as we go off the air here. I do want to let you know we'll be back tomorrow live at 5 with Who's Playing Out, our show every week that we feature the best musicians and venues in the tri-state and where they're playing all week long. Until then, guys, get out and support live local music and the bands and venues that bring it to you. We'll see you next time here at All Around Town Radio.